What is up, guys? Welcome to Dudes After Dark. I almost said blinkers off there, Davey. Welcome to Dudes After Dark. They're getting in the gate right now for the second race. Davey, you said you had a pick to place. Let's do it now. What's your pick for?
Yeah, so I got 2-5 with 2-4-5-6 with 1-2-3 with 4-5-8.
All right, we wanted to get live to go ahead and get that given out. I underestimated that the intro video is a minute long, so we're still kind of late.
I forgot about that.
So we'll watch this race, and then we'll kind of introduce the show here. As a surprise, I'm here for the first time, I think, on the show, sober at least. So they're all in line. All right, so let's see what happens here. They are off. Okay. I need to pull up my past performances. I was not ready to be on the show, but that's all right. I can do it. I have this card handicapped, obviously, so it won't be a big deal. Looks like the 6 is out in front right now. And I believe I can't see. There we go. The 2. Yeah, there's the 2. So I put the 2. Did you use the 2? I put the 2 on top.
Yeah. I have the 2 and the 5, which the 2 wasn't tied to be the post time favorite at the time.
Right.
Now is so. Or looks like the 5 is 9-5 actually. So worked out.
Yeah, the 5. Let's see what the 5 is going to do here. Kind of not doing much yet in this one. So okay, the 2's our hope here. 6 is round in the corner, looking pretty decent here. That is let's see, that's Sky Sailing, and I think he's gone.
Well, that's okay. That's horse racing.
I'm glad we got on here early.
Yeah. I've had a few issues, but now we're getting rolling, so I'm excited. I love Del Mar.
Well, we got the loss out of the way. Now there's nothing but winning to do as well. Yeah, let's see here. Hold on. I'm trying to get my form up. All right, I got the form. I got the picks. I'm totally prepared now. Oh, we got Curtis on here too. Let's get not Magic, but Curtis, and everybody knows this. So, what's up, man? How's it going?
Dude, I singled the 6 to start the pick 3, and the ticket didn't go in on time.
No.
I gave you that 6 right there.
I know you said it earlier, and I was worried about it after you said it.
That's brutal.
Well, we're going into race 3, though. It's a maiden special weight 5 furlongs for 2-year-olds over the turf. What do you guys think?
I was like 5 deep here. I really know the 2-year-olds on the turf. You have no idea. The only thing I'm sure of here, I'm sure the one Westwood, this John Sheriff's horse, they paid like $700,000 for it. This horse will close from last to get like 3rd, and then he'll go off at like 3-1 next time and win for fun, and then just do nothing ever again. That's kind of how it works with the John Sheriff horse. So, if I'm calling my shot there.
Oh, yeah, he's a hard one to figure out in general. That's the kind of the one he either beats you. He always beats me one way or the other, whether you pick him or not. Yeah, this race is going to be, there's Shoddy as well. So see, I just had to get you guys started. Then everybody shows up once I get everybody started here. We'll put Shoddy in there as well. Hello, Shoddy. How are you?
Hi.
Well, now we're having fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. As soon as I was going to watch from my Uber, and it started and then stopped, and was like, oh no, something has happened.
So I was just hanging out in the office, kind of working on things for tomorrow. And then, hey, I'll throw those guys on, watch what they're doing, watch Del Mar, work on whatever. And yeah, it lasted like 20 seconds. And I was like, oh, shit, something's wrong. So I said, we got to jump in here real quick. But we're here now. So it's all good. Are you traveling? Is that your deal? Are you traveling?
I'm in Indianapolis right now. Actually, I'll be seeing Curtis tomorrow if he's able to make it. We're going to a work thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll be downtown, so we'll
Sweet.
get
I'm
some.
sing some karaoke.
Oh wow.
Right. Get the Hank Williams Jr. out. I'm gonna have to bring the cowboy hat.
Yeah. Now, I've been at a convention all day and have been speed looking at PPs. So you guys might have to take the lead while I furiously study in the background what we are talking about.
So you're at a convention all day doing speed. So you and Magic.
Yes, I was doing speed all day. Yeah.
Magic, yeah. Well, David kind of introduced the race. 2-year-old maidens on the turf here, 5 furlongs, and I don't remember who said it first, but you said you were 5 deep, Curtis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went. Well, I was on my ticket that got locked out. So, Shotty, you missed it. I had a single, the 6. Told Davey about it, trying to get back into the show, and then when we had some technical difficulties, I let the dogs out here to go to the bathroom, and they didn't come back in a timely fashion. So, didn't get my pick 3 and got shut out, and we get a 6-1 single to start.
I have a pick 3 in right now, closing into the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll see if that
Well,
that's gonna pay.
You're missing 2 horses, so
You know what? No, Aaron. Last time we were missing 2 horses, we lost out on a monster pick 5. I don't want to hear it.
well, hopefully that doesn't.
I think that's the point he's making.
So you're
Nick is
missing the
here.
1 and the 3. You're missing the sheriff's horse that we made a joke about, and oh my gosh, you left off the Finchner horse. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my boy.
It's gonna be pain. It's gonna be
That's my
pain.
boy.
So I did have the 2 Kale's Angel on top. When I had the pick 4 going, I also was thinking about the 4, 5, and 6. I know that's not getting too fancy in this race, but I thought Kale's Angel just kind of set up for him. Looked like he's had some sharp workouts lately. I think that this is just the right setup for him, and hopefully Juan Hernandez can get the job done.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for betting 2-year-old Todd Fincher horses at Del Mar. So I don't think it's paid off for me yet, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. So we'll see. I'm tempted. I don't want to bet the 3 now because I don't want to go against Shotty here. So although
I don't hate the 3 underneath, and just because you guys are scaring me, I just put some money on the 3 to win. So thanks. I'll win regardless.
I feel like the breeding said
The 3 can win now. It's fine.
But my racehorse had that Canthari horse, very similar. Wasn't a spectacular one. So when I see 23-1 on Cantharos, I'm gonna ignore it.
I guess I thought this was the same horse for some reason, though.
So I went and checked my racehorse because that was the last horse I was waiting to get out so I could get my check and be a happy person. And it was Canthari.
So the last starter that Finchner did have here at Del Mar, it was a 2-year-old by the name of Show of Force, and the horse did just that, was a winner by 3/4 of a length in a 2-year-old maiden special weight. So good luck, Shotty. Hopefully that 3 doesn't come in.
Yep, we'll see.
Well,
I mean, I did have the 3 written down as like, okay, this horse could upset, but I like the 4 a lot for this race.
the 2 was one I had on top as well. So Davey and I kind of see this race alike here. Kale's Angel, and look, the horse had a bullet last time out, first of 38. It's Peter Miller here at Del Mar. You know he's got him loaded up to win races, but look, it's a weird race overall, guys. I mean, I think you look at this and it's like, yeah, any number of them can win. Like we're sitting here talking about the 3 who's 23-1. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, you can make a case for that horse. So it's definitely a spread race. I'm glad, all joking aside, you do have a bunch in here to kind of close this out. It should pay. I want to read the will pay as you're reading these off. So the 2 is almost 600. Wow, these are all great. The 4 is
If the 8
730.
comes in, I'm going wild.
Yeah, the
My
4 is
corpus over here are gonna hear it.
The 5 is 813. The 6 is 681, and then 1300 for the 7, almost 1700 for the 8.
Ooh.
Wow, that's nice. And then the 3 would be paying $3,000 if that was to come in and you had it. Of course, you don't have it, so who cares? But anyway,
Yeah.
I am playing this for 50 cents and not $1 though. But
well, okay, well, poor you.
Yeah,
you're gonna get half of those for a freaking pick 3. We feel terrible for you. We feel so terrible for you.
the Uber ticket.
That's funny.
It's interesting that the 2 was 5-1 morning line and is the favorite in all the will pays. It looks like so. I think this horse will go off favored as it's 2-1 right now as well in the win pool. So anyway.
Is this something that happened today? I didn't get to watch anything today.
Yeah, there was a bump right towards the wire. It was the 8 horse and maybe the 1A, I think was the outside horse. And I definitely thought the 8 was coming down. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I wasn't live. It was the last leg of the early pick 5. I was not alive, and I didn't play back to pick 4, pick 3. So I didn't have a dog in the fight. But I definitely thought that the 8 was coming down. Had about two or three bumps, I would say 50 to 75 yards from the wire in. And so it was, I mean, they separated by less than a nose. It was crazy. So I was shocked. Come down. But anyway.
Alrighty.
I think I'm back. I think my internet's working again.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. I can start shows and end them midway through intros. I can try to start another show and screw that up too. So I'm going to be fired. I don't even get paid for this job. It's really quite something. I can make Aaron work at 6:45 on a Friday. You know, that's what I'm here for.
I'm just hanging out and wanting to watch you guys, and then this happens.
Now you can be a part of it. Look at that.
Yeah,
This is how you
numbers
work the guest appearance.
Yeah, living my best life here with you guys tonight. This is what I
We
had in mind.
appreciate you, Aaron.
Well, sadly enough, I'm at the age where I don't have anything to do on a Friday night anyway. So, shit, might as well come on here, right?
Then sit and watch us while not being on here. It's like the perfect Friday.
Yeah. I was watching a blank screen earlier, so being on with you guys is better than that. Yeah, I'm watching
the stream.
Watch a few baseball games, so it's all good.
How about that football game being cut short last night?
I think you got to be pretty sick to watch that or bet that. So, like, and I consider myself a sick person, but not that sick. So,
Okay, fair enough.
you got to be Somich level 8 up sick.
All right, so we're still 20 minutes to post. Have we kind of all gone through what horse we had on top already? I missed the beginning, so.
So did everybody else because there wasn't no beginning until
That's fair.
Aaron showed
That's
up.
fair. That's fair.
The beginning was David and I scrambling he's reading off a big 4 ticket as they go in the gate. Totally fucked like 30 seconds into the race.
Well, I did make a banner and everything, and I had to delete all the banners, so I'm really on my own. I did it, but we'll take away the one you missed, and we'll do it again for another pick 3. How about that?
Love it.
Let's do it. And then tomorrow we have the Whitney, so make sure you guys check out the Whitney Stakes Betting Bible. There's a very lovely horse on the front cover, don't you think, Davey?
My boy. I haven't
boy.
looked at it yet. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to guess it's my boy.
Wow.
He National Treasure is a
Yeah.
national treasure. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. If there was Olympics, he would get gold. So tomorrow at the Whitney, he'll be in the winner's circle.
I'll try to find time to watch it when I can.
Hey, Tumbarumba. That's going to be
Yeah?
a horse underneath. I'm telling you. Oklahoma
I
Derby
think so.
horse.
I hate that horse. Absolutely can't stand him. Oh, I hope he gets last.
Oh. Rude.
It's true. I do hope so.
Dennis, if you're betting the Olympics, man, Can
how
you
much?
bet the Olympics?
I have watched all. Heather loves the gymnastics, so I've watched all the gymnastics. I don't bet it though, but I know they were talking about it today on VSiN. So
There's a lot of people trying to say that Noah Lyles was going to break the new 200 world record, and I do not think that is going to happen at all. I do not think he will break Bolt's record.
okay.
Now, I do think Sydney McLaughlin is going to break her own world record again, and I do think that she has the potential of being the first woman to ever break 50 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles.
You
That's a big
know
jump.
the most about this than any of us, I feel
So
like.
you're a track
I will
guy.
trust you.
Yes, I am track. That is my
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You are track.
That's my life.
If I wanted track picks, I would go to you. I'm just saying that.
I could give them to you. I really could. We have one Oklahoman, I think, one or two in the Olympics. High jumper. Can't even think of his name because I don't like him. I don't know how he got in. He was like 6th or 7th at the trials, and they're like, "We need you."
Huh.
He went to OU, so he was phenomenal in high school. Jumped like, I don't know, like 6'10", 6'11". Vernon Turner, that's his name. Went to Arkansas, came back because he didn't do any good. The max height he ever got was, I don't know, like 7'3" or 7'4", I think. He just kind of plateaued, and I think he gave up on Arkansas, which was an actual good program, and then came back.
Damn right.
Davey's a huge fan of him. He thinks he's going to be a superstar. You can tell. Bet him to win the gold.
I don't know about that. Maybe out in the first round.
I got, when I was in high school, I got to where I could clear the bar for the high jump, and that's it.
That's
Heck yeah.
still impressive.
Not really.
I couldn't do it.
There's
Not
people
very
who
high.
don't.
Very low.
All
Very
right,
low.
so we still got 15 minutes until this
Mm.
2-year-old maiden. So did one of you have the 3 on top, or are you guys just joking about the 3 coming in?
I think it was that you didn't have him,
Oh, okay.
and then Todd Fincher is just the combo, a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I had him on top, which is probably a good sign for you that he's not going to come in. But the workout
Last
reports
time
like
I talked to Nick about turf races, he said he threw a dart at it.
Yeah,
True.
that makes it, I thought you hated turf races, so
I
I'm
do.
supposed to not trust you.
right, so it'll be okay. The 3 was working well though. I brought the workout reports and everything this morning. I was all excited, and it sounded like it was working with boosters. So maybe something like getting killed by it, but as you would expect, like it's a 2-year-old maiden. So, but working with it made it seem like it was a halfway decent shot of doing something here.
That's interesting.
I agree. I'm looking at him right now.
Yep.
Okay. So, anyone going to Oklahoma Derby this year?
I would think I would be there. Yeah.
I don't think I can for work, but springboard, yes.
Heck yeah. Heck
Oh
yeah.
God, springboard. Yeah, I need to go this
You
year.
have
I'll
to.
change my Vegas trip around. Yeah.
It's the Toby Keith inaugural Toby Keith Stakes.
It is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that'll be nice. Just I can speak on Cantharos as a sire because he's sire of the 3-horse. I owned a Cantharos once. He was a total piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying. I had my racehorse one, and it was the same thing.
So
No, he was okay. he's turned into a piece of shit.
you guys mentioned wanting to do a pick 3 starting this race. Is that correct?
Oh, we can look at one.
Do it.
Oh, I wasn't sure because I assume that pick 4
Yeah, no,
is
pick
that for
4
race 2.
went up in smoke for me, so
Ah, gotcha.
shouldn't have rushed that and told everybody how I could lose.
Dr. Tang in the house.
What's up?
Duh.
Yes, see, Nick, all your former hosts show up when when you have other people in here.
I can't even show up. So maybe I was the problem, and maybe that was actually the issue we had. I don't know.
Cute Taylor Swift.
What?
He's the problem. It's him.
Oh, thought you said.
Sorry.
Okay. Just went woo right over my head.
I assume my kids were playing Taylor Swift somewhere in the background, and that's what you were talking about. But that was a good one. That was actually a really nice one, Dave. I got to give you that one.
Yeah,
Thank you. I do what I can, you know.
I enjoyed it.
Shawty, what do you think about this pick 3? What are you looking at?
Sorry. Well, that's why I was asking you guys, because I was gonna start keying some horses, including the 3 in here, for the first leg, just in case.
So if you care about the the breeding stuff at all, I was doing a little research here. So the 3 actually has another full sibling, by Cantharos as well too. That's ran pretty much on the turf, won first out at Colonial in a 5 furlong sprint. So maiden claiming nonetheless, but a little interesting there. Some precocity.
Okay.
I was singling the 4 in the 5th race, so if you want to anchor your pick 3 with a bad 8-1 shot, that'd be a good way of losing some money on this Friday night. So I'm here for. See, I give out some ideas like, hey, don't play this one. This is a bad one. I'm going to get a text from Doc in about 30 seconds saying, yeah, that's a terrible idea.
If I roll my pick 4 back into the pick 3, it's $18. I don't know if I want to play that big of a pick 3 or not. I don't know. In this race, I had the 2, 4, 5, 6, but those odds are all kind of near each other and low now. So maybe just 2, 5. If I was going just kind of lower in this leg. What do you guys think? I don't know how
I
deep
feel like
the pick 3.
I feel like this leg, it's a 2-year-olds with there's so much unknown. I don't think going skinny is.
You think this is the one that we should flare out?
Again, I'm still kind of looking through. Let's see, what is this race for?
Is that Uber not long enough?
No, I was expecting to have a little bit more time. I was like, I'm going to take some time. I'll be able to look at the card. I did quickly write down, though, that I had the 4 circled for race 3. I like the 8 and the 9 in race 4. And then the 1 in race 5. Ang and Ash for the race 5. Reasons why written down? No. Just quickly scribbled numbers.
the 8 and 9 in the next in race 4 seem to be pretty logical based on everything about them. Like, it's not a very good race. It's a fairly for a maiden race at Del Mar, I kind of always expect a little bit better, but those 2 were by far the best, it looked like to me. So I think if you keyed those 2, probably makes the most sense. Then you can go deeper somewhere else. But I'm again,
I've played against those, but
Yeah.
I understand your point
Probably
of view.
a smart
I went
move.
with one or the other, and I went with the 3 to the inside. 1, 2, and 3. I thought the 2 Bob Baffords were actually interesting. I'm a big Kimura Kazushi fan, actually, and I think that he does a fantastic job writing. So I thought him getting on or being on well funded, this is actually a race that wasn't overpowering, and you could actually get a good run. But out of the 2 Baffert horses, Hymnal was my favorite. Juan Hernandez aboard. Looks like this should be an easier race for him that he should be able to win. So that's 5 horses. If we wanted to put all of them on, that would be half.
well, and somehow you're going to get, at least on the morning line, 10-1 and 6-1 on Bob Baffert in maiden races at Del Mar. So it's like, if you get those anywhere near those prices, you have to take advantage of it. Even if they lose, like, when do you ever get Bob Baffert at 6-1? Like, it doesn't happen.
Right. That's what I was mind boggled at. I was like, 10-1 and 6-1 on 2 Baffert horses. This looks like the rest of the field. I was like, ugh.
And really, if I'm being honest,
the 8 to the outside, I do like them, but because they're to the outside, I was like, they might cause a bit of a traffic issue for themselves, just depending on how they break.
And the 8s only has 1 race, and so who knows what that race was. And I mean, looking back at it, it was fine, but nothing really great in there. So maybe it was just a weak field that it ran second in. So it may actually be smart to play against the 8. So throw the 6 in instead. How about that? Throw the 8 and 9 out. Play the 6. I like the 6 a little bit on the
Tahiti.
Yeah, it was second off the layoff, and John Sheriff always needs to get ones to workout first, and workout reports will go with that because it's very smart. And I spent $12 on it, so I'm going to utilize every penny of that thing. They said that it would have been working out well, and that before the last race, it needed that race. So I'm gonna say 6 as a 20-1 shot instead of the 8-9. There you go. That was my help of the day.
Pretty much every John Sheriff's horse ever has needed a race.
Or 2 or 3 or 7 or 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always needed that last race.
Until it worked.
Express Train, who needed a couple of years off, and then they come back and run as a 7-year-old.
Man, I like that horse, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, they bought him the same year they bought Honor AP. Those two were in the same class.
I liked Honor AP. Honor AP has the same birthday as me.
Hey, fun fact.
He was very talented. Very talented.
If anybody else trains that horse, he wins the Kentucky Derby.
Probably. Yeah.
If they don't ship the Derby to May, he probably wins the Kentucky Derby as well too that year. Because he got hurt a little bit and came back and was like 70% and almost beat Authentic in that first race back. And then it's the first time I've ever seen a jockey get ecstatic about getting second in a race with Mike Smith. He's like hugging the horse. He's like, "Oh, we're going to be fine next time." And then the whole thing got changed and they kind of had to reroute.
Yeah.
What a crazy year.
That was a crazy year.
But
I remember
he blew past off.
we played Bonner Park and Will Rogers.
Yeah.
Yep. Bonner Park and Will Rogers ran Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're the only 2 tracks run in the whole country for 8 weeks probably. And they like Bonner Park, Will Rogers, Tampa Bay Downs, Oaklawn, and Gulfstream.
Most out at night.
Huge pick six.
And most out at night saved horse racing. Yep.
It was like 15 million.
It's crazy.
And then the Arkansas Derby had 2 versions that year, right? Basically,
Yep. Arkansas Derby
And
ran on
Patrick
Kentucky Derby Day and had 2 versions. Nadal won one of them, and
Charlatan.
Yeah.
The 2 Baffords.
Yep.
And that had a pick 3 that paid crazy because like a 50-something to 1 won one of the legs, and I hit it, and that was a good day for me.
That was the Diodoro horse. That
Yeah.
was to the moon. Yeah, I can't think of the horse's name now. Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
Let's just rewind real quick.
I want to say Nadal maybe never raced again after that Arkansas Derby.
Did not.
Yes.
You are
Yeah,
correct.
he was.
And
He went to Japan, I think.
Did Charlatan ever run? Maybe a couple times.
I think Charlatan came back and ran once or twice.
Well, Charlatan lost that Saudi Cup.
That's right.
He got
Because
written down.
did Charlatan run in the Cigar Mile?
Yeah, I'm
Was
going to look that
Malibu?
up now. I can't remember.
Malibu, maybe.
It was. I think it might have been the Malibu, not the Cigar. That was an accident to say.
So, how much are we wanting to spend on this pick 3? I have plugged in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into 2, 3, 8, 9 into 1, 5. That's $20 for 50 cents. We could
So
probably
you guys
cut
want to talk about this last race a little bit? Do you guys have anything else? Because I do have in the last race the 4, 5, 8. You said you had the 1 Ang and Ash, Shoddy, right?
Mhm.
Tell me about it.
So I kind of just looking at kind of the speed figures. Again, that's kind of how I normally look at races when I handicap. I think is probably going to get to the lead and hold on to the lead. It's kind of a speed favoring track right now. So that's kind of the angle that I'm going to play on that one. It's the best early speed figures. So it should get to the front and hold on to the lead.
Yeah, Charlatan. I just looked it up. Sorry, Charlatan after the Arkansas Derby ran in the Malibu and won, and then second in the Saudi Cup and never heard from him again. So anyway, go ahead.
Probably at stud somewhere.
I think he is somewhere, actually.
That's par for the course. He'll be being bred to horses that have raced 3 times in their career, and they'll sell a horse for $800,000 that runs once.
Is Charlatan at Coolmore, America?
I would guess Japan.
All right, I'm going to look this up now.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
You guys do the show. I'll just look up all the stuff you guys want
Come on,
to
History
Aaron.
with Dudes After Dark with Aaron the intern.
Speaking of horses being regally bred, though, so race 4 in this maiden race, the one horse Mizzy Ann, don't know if anybody else took a look at it, but actually comes over, ran in the UAE Oaks and raced over in Dubai. But it's by Justify, or sired by Justify, and then out of Valley Dory. Grade 1 winning mare that raced over here in the States, ran in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, won a couple grade 1s at Santa Anita. So the horse actually got second to Manana Gold. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? The horse that's with Todd Pletcher now that came over. So if she wins the UAE Oaks, could have been in the Kentucky Oaks. But, yeah, I thought that horse was a little interesting here at 5-1. Looks like it's getting played in the multi-races, or the multi-wagers.
I do want to real quick mention, after this race, win or lose, I am going to take like a race off because I meant to eat food before coming on here and I'm hungry. So I will
And as soon as you walk,
in the
as soon as you
background.
leave and Aaron leaves, my internet's going to go out again.
No,
We're gonna
I'll be
have
on in the background, but don't pull me in. Don't pull me in. I'm just gonna-
Charlton is at Hillendale.
Oh,
Stud fee is $50,000.
Charles, I'm sure he is too. I'm sure he is too. Poor Husker Butch.
You know, he had a good time for a little bit.
He did.
Old Husker.
He
He had a good
did.
trainer.
He did have a good trainer, and did he get bounced around some trainers after? Okay. Who's gonna call this race? Are you gonna make me call this race?
Yeah,
Well, you're always ahead of
Please
us.
please don't make me call the race. Okay. Hey guys, I'm gonna be calling a horse race. Got my coworkers in the room. Oh, hey. They accept me for who I am.
Now you definitely have to do it.
What'd you say?
Did you go to St. Elmo's the other night?
We go on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, reservations were very late at night because that's all we could get.
Yeah, got to get the shrimp cocktail.
I will. I keep hearing that's what you got to get.
Yeah, be careful though. Take it in small bites at first. Rookie mistake if you don't.
Oh, is it spicy? Is it the spicy meatball? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like spicy food, so maybe I don't want to order it. All right, so they're loading into the gate. Welcome back, Aaron.
Thank you.
Watch me butcher this horse race call. No.
Well, where are they out on your screen?
They're in the gate. I think the
Or just went in.
In Japan, they just crossed the wire, actually.
8.
They already know.
The 8 is loading into the gate right now. Iron Man cow.
Somebody jumped up there.
Dennis wants Aaron to do the call, but I don't know.
Well, he wants a lot of things. He doesn't
And they're
get,
off.
like getting laid.
6 got a pretty bad break. Off to the early lead is going to be Kale's Angel with
Sorry, not sorry.
sorry, not sorry. With Pally Kitten. Is that Pally Kitten? Oh
Yeah,
man,
Cal
I don't know
Kitten's
this.
in front.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just broke for me.
Me too.
You guys are doing well.
You guys are so great. I'm watching on my phone. I can't see any of the saddle cloths.
If two's well, I'll call it. If two's any good, should win. Just set a 22-3 unhurried opening fraction. But is the 2 any good? That's the question. So
That's the question.
yeah, Kale's Angels ahead, turning for home here. Has not really kicking on, but nobody coming yet. Looks like the 5 may wear the 2 down. It's going to get close. Here comes
Come on,
somebody on
Raylu. Come on, Raylu. Come on, Raylu.
7.
Get up, Raylu. Get up,
7's
Raylu.
got it. 7-4.
Raylu.
6.
My boy.
You just hit for over $700.
$172. Yeah.
Let's go, Shoddy.
Oh my God. Raylu, my king.
I wouldn't say that too loud. Otherwise, your coworker's going to make you buy them dinner tonight.
Wow.
I'm buying you guys a dinner at St. Elmo's.
I was trying to call this race, and all I heard was Raylu.
I should have muted myself.
No, I love it. So can I tell everybody listening to this story, Shotty?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So you text me, probably a week before the Del Mar meeting, like, "Hey, Raylu's back at Del Mar, and it's gonna be awesome." And I was like, "I don't give a shit about that." And now, that's why. Look, hey, he doesn't have to do anything more for you. He just won you a boatload of money. So there you go.
Oh man,
What a guy.
what a guy! I think he's doing quite well for himself at Del Mar. That's not me being biased at all. Because I kept
your boy Husker Butch at Colonial Downs.
What?
Hey, but now he got rid of that horse. It's not his anymore.
What's going on at Colonial Downs?
Your old boy Husker Butch was there.
Oh, feel sorry for
You want to
anybody
guess
who's
what place he
watching.
got?
Did he get last again?
Oh, I'm assuming so. Yes.
I've totally just not follow him anymore. All right,
I still have him in my stable just to be like, oh, I got to pet him, and then just I don't care.
delete him. The second he got
delete him.
just delete him.
Let him be retired to be a sweet old
Let's
yarn
see.
ornament.
Sweet old
No,
3-year-old.
he was at Canterbury last. It says he
Oh,
hasn't been to
today.
Colonial.
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he
Was
there
he-
today?
No, he said up here it was Canterbury. Yeah.
Oh, it was Canterbury. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah, he's not good.
Get it right.
Yeah, I don't teach English or anything.
Oklahoma education.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Sorry, Davey.
Well, congrats, Shotty. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I wish we could have been live to have that every time.
So does the pick 5 carry to the early pick 5 or the late pick 5? Because if someone hits this, they're taking the whole thing down, right? With a $38 winner and then $4.14, and then that was what, 9-1? Like this thing is going to be outrageous.
Monster.
I think it'll carry to tomorrow's early because you can't carry to the late because they're in the same sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's the
And the
case.
early has the low takeout and the late has the high takeout. So,
So
I
it'll
think
carry
also-
to the early, and like you said, it's got a pretty good chance. I would think.
Right? I mean, somebody may have it, but that seems like a tough one to hit at this point. I mean, Shotty just hit a pick 3, so maybe I'm talking too early, but no offense, Shotty.
I literally only threw that horse on because Rayleigh was on. I didn't really like the horse. I was like, hey, Rayleigh, let's put him on the ticket. Just like with Pratt. Don't leave him off anymore. Just been hurt too many times.
The winner's just officially 38.80 in the first leg, 14.80 in the second leg, and then the third leg was 29.20. So if you get one more like that, I don't know who's going to have this.
The 6, 7, and 10 on a 50-cent pick 3 are paying over $2,000. So that's race 2 through 4. So, the one's $112, which is still a 50-cent bet, which is tough, but that makes it a little bit more likely. Oh, and the 8's 86. So 1 and 8 may make somebody hit it, but man, this feels like a carryover to me.
Yeah, me too.
See it.
I'm guessing you didn't play the pick 5, Shotty. You're not alive in the pick
No,
5, right?
no.
Okay.
I am kicked out of the pick 3 that I started this race though, so but whatever. I don't care. I should have done 2 through 7, but that just basically would have been all at that point. Ugh. Okay. Should have went all that leg. Yeah. Yep.
I like the leg.
Show leg.
That's great.
All right, like I said, I'll be back hopefully by the start of the next race.
Just take all the money and run. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I meant to eat food before getting out here.
It's too bad. That's the life. That's the life of a lot.
Aaron was planning to get drunk watching baseball right now, and look at him. Look at him
Yeah,
powering through.
I was spending time with my family, and now I'm here with you guys. So don't hear me complaining about it that much. So. Oh, by the way, before you go, you probably want to know Hillendale. That's where Charlatan stands.
Sorry, I beat you to it.
You did? Well, you fucker. What am I doing?
Well, you said I'll look it up. Don't worry, and then you disappeared.
The dog needed out. What do you want me to? This was unplanned.
You're
We
good.
would let the dog
You're
out
good.
on time if we would have known.
Okay, bye, and then just leave.
So, were you surprised though? Were you surprised that he was standing for 50 grand at Hillendale?
I about shit my pants when I saw the 50 grand part. Yeah, that's insane. Anybody that's given $50,000. Okay. I don't want to go on a rant about this, but racing is crazy. If you've seen that horse in the flesh, you're like, what? He is the tiniest little, listen, he was fine, right? But he is, he's tiny.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine 50,000. So I can't imagine somebody like walking in and going, oh yeah, charlatan, that works. And like, well, hell, he got disqualified from like every race he ever won that was decent too. That's another thing. Anyway, I'm done. You guys go ahead. I'm just the intern. Go ahead.
So do you guys want to talk about the Whitney? Since we have half an hour to talk about a maiden
Heck yeah.
special weight. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up. If I can do it. Yes. Oh, right. Shoddy's gone. She looks like magic. That's why I said magic. I have not looked at all at this race. So I'm going to say, hey, Davey, what do you like in this race?
I love the 3 National Treasure. He's my boy. He's been my boy since I drafted him in the fantasy draft. Flavian Pratt, Baffert aboard. I mean, he went overseas. He did all right. Wasn't insane, but comes back, gets that awesome win, and now comes here. And I just think it sets up well for him. The competition isn't great. Bright Future I think looks all right. Has a bright future, but other than that, if you dig deeper, I don't think anyone overpowers National Treasure. So I really think that he gets a similar race. He's up very close to the front, if not on it, and takes it all the way.
We already know what Aaron said. And if you don't, go watch his podcast. He's not even here. He's just here to make sure we don't go off the air.
Yeah. I'm just here to listen to you guys. So
What do you think, Curtis? Who do you like? Have you looked at this race?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I looked it over. So I'm a pretty big fan of one of the horses in here, so much so that I've been looking at Breeders' Cup future prices on him. So we'll see what he's got tomorrow. But Arthur's Ride, the 11, coming out. I needed him for a lot of money on Oaks Day, and he didn't take to the wet track at all, so much so that I thought the horse was injured coming down the lane. That's how uncomfortable he looked on that surface. Came back Saratoga week, runs before the Belmont. He ran the day before the Belmont, right? He's like first race on that Friday. And then I had a really big bet on him, first or second race, bet in like a daily double or some multi-race wagers involving him. And his winnings paid for most of my Dornick bets. So if we're going to keep the vibes going here, I'm going to play some stuff into Arthur's Ride. If the track comes up wet, I'm going to be off of him a little bit. I thought Krupe, actually, the 7's a little interesting here. Race that I think Aaron's kind of alluded to this, but it's tough to project pace, right? You look at something on paper and it looks like there's a bunch of pace and never plays out that way. We'll see. I think National Treasure has to go to the lead. If anybody else goes with him, I think Krupe's the one true closer in here and about the only horse that made up any ground on the Belmont at Saratoga on Belmont weekend. So thought he was interesting. I thought that Bright Future race at Monmouth was really, really good last out off the bench. So willing to play him here is take a chance.
Yeah, I have such a hard time playing closers at Saratoga at this point. Like until I see a closer consistently win, it's just tough to really want to get behind one like that. I mean, I think Krupe's a really good horse, and I think he fits really well in this race. But the way Saratoga has been playing, I just find it hard that that's what he's going to do. What do you think, Aaron?
Krupe? I think he's poopy. I don't like Krupe that well. I think he's just kind of a low, like a lumbering type. I think the pace will really have to melt down for him. He might be your third or fourth place horse, I think. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the bottom line of the race is if National Treasure shows up with the last 4 efforts that he's had, I don't really think they'll beat him. And if he doesn't, I think it becomes crazy. Like, you can make a case for Arthur's Ride. You can make a case for Bright Future. I think you can make a case for Post Time. You can, Skippy Longstocking, that's the kind of field he might be able to beat if National Treasure doesn't fire. So it's an odd race if National Treasure doesn't fire. I mean, pretend he's not in there and you handicap the other 11. I do kind of think, like, when you look at Arthur's Ride, I agree with Curtis. It's like he kind of seems like the ceiling's really high, but can he pass a class test? And then you look at these others, and it's like, man, they've had their chances. They every once in a while they'll come up with the win, but yikes, they're not really dependable. And then First Mission's in there, and Brad Cox, and we know that he's not doing all that well up at Saratoga this year. And First Mission was pretty bad last time out, so I think it has National Treasure winning at 6-5 or a 30-1 shot written all over it. I don't think you're going to get like the second choice wins the race. I think it's going to be him or it's going to be a Price.
National Treasure or Tumbarumba?
It's Tumbarumba. I'm definitely not watching until the 13th race. I'll skip the 12th.
I mean, the way I was looking at it was like, if any of these horses hit the trifecta, are you shocked? And it just seems like there's not one that's like, oh man, how did that one hit the trifecta? So it makes it for one of the better betting races. And like I said, if National Treasure doesn't fire, I don't feel like he hits the board at all. So like he feels like a winner or off the board type. So then all of a sudden you get to this like, well, Tumbarumba, yeah, I remember that horse. Oh, I remember that time Arthur's Ride was good. And oh, I remember that time Disarm used to be good. And oh, Post Time, whatever happened to him? So it does feel very much like that anybody can hit the board, and worse, any of them can win. It'd be not very shocking, which is great betting and hard handicapping.
I kind of agree with Curtis's logic a little bit of with Arthur's, like all the horses you just kind of mentioned. It's like we kind of know who they are, but Arthur's Ride, we still don't know exactly like his peak, right? Mm-hmm. That's the one. It's like if National Treasure fires huge, Arthur's Ride could be as good as him. We just don't know. He might be, he might not be. So I like the angle. If you're going to go against him, take the, quote unquote, he's not really a new shooter, but he's a new shooter to these kind of levels. Yeah. So I thought that made sense. Yeah.
The one that I scrolled down and revealed Charge It.
Yeah, I was going to say the one that I hate and I don't want to bet on because I've lost more than enough money on is Charge It. And I guarantee you I lose at least 50 cents on that horse tomorrow because there's no way I don't have Charge It somewhere in here at 30-1. And I feel like you get every bit of that. And I don't know that what this horse wants to do at this point. He ran a mile last out and a mile and a quarter before that. And it's like,
the horse wants to retire.
Hey, he has one race left in him at least. Come on, give the guy a chance tomorrow and then retire him. But yeah, I mean, he ran a mile the last two, but last year he ran the Whitney and ran fourth, beating 10 lengths. But then won the Suburban before that. So it's one of those like, God, I feel like he has a race that he'll pop off and get, but Pletcher's not really known for being third off the layoff with older horses. The 3-year-old's fine, but the 5-year-olds, like, I don't know if he wants to go third off a layoff, but maybe that's the angle you want with him. Probably don't want him at all, but here I am trying to make a case for him.
He sucks.
Yeah. That was a terrible idea. That everyone was just like, yeah, Nick, not even close. Like I can't even make fun of you for that one. I'm just going to be silent and let you talk about something else. So
he sucks.
He does.
I don't like him, but
he's the worst. Yeah, I know, and I'm going to continue to lose money on him. So
was he second to White Obario in the Florida Derby?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the wise guy horse in the Derby that year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody loved Charge It.
If you remember that the Florida Derby, he was a mess, and he still was closing late, and so everybody got excited.
Well, the thing that made everybody excited was when he came back in the Dwyer and won by 23 lengths. And it's like, oh my God, look at him. And then he was off for back in July to February. And then he came back and he won. So it's like, oh God, here's the horse. And then I don't think he's won since. No, he did win the Suburban last year. Yep. Beating nobody. Mm-hmm. Clapton and Unbridled Bomber. Ooh, at 3-5. Those are horses, I guess.
The last two, his only 2 wins since the Dwyer, he beat Clapton both times.
Is that good?
Eric Clapton's pretty good. I like Clapton. We can listen to some Eric Clapton right now.
Yeah, not too bad.
Oh boy, I'm still betting him. You guys haven't talked me off of him.
So, can I ask you guys? Let's see. I'll ask it to the room. So next, the horse. Next, I'm talking about. What are they like? He's in the Birdstone the next day after the Whitney. Why? Like, don't you think next? I mean, this is a horse that is just dominating fields. He won at a mile and a 3/8. He beat Krupe, who Curtis and I mean, you kind of like him. I think he can get the board. He beat him by 9 1/4 last out. Why is he not taking a shot at the Whitney? And I don't know who wants to answer, but
I have no idea. I don't understand the logic for not trying this spot here. This seems like a really logical spot for him to come in and take a chance. Maybe because it's a mile and an eighth, not a mile and a quarter. But
yeah,
I don't know that he wants longer though. Like he's good at longer, but that's not saying much. Beating Krupe going long, right? It's not like he's like there's some like powerhouse long marathon race. The way that it sounds to me from David Aragona is like the owners just don't care and they just like winning races and they don't want to have a challenge and they like to bet on 1 to 9 shots and win. And that honestly is like kind of what it feels like they're doing. And you know, how much is next made in his life? $1 million, $2 million probably. Like just run him where he's going to win and who cares? Like, what do I need to win the Whitney for? Who cares? Which is really just an amazing idea to me because like all of us like, why wouldn't you win the Whitney? Like there's nobody here. Go beat this group and you know go win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Like next would be a legit Breeders' Cup Classic horse, I think, based on the fields we currently look at.
I don't get like at this point. Okay, I get early in his career. Hey, let's rack up wins. That totally. But God, I mean, it's like not you guys, but guys being the owners. Try it now. And if you go to the Whitney and he sucks, who cares? You're running a $150,000 race. That's what you're missing. If you try the Whitney, you try it, doesn't work out. You can go right back to whatever you want to do. But what if he was to win it? Then all of a sudden you could think about you're going to the Breeders' Cup Classic and you're going to be one of the top 3 choices in the race. So it's wild to me.
He's won the last 6 races he's been in and not faced anybody. He's been worst. He was at the Brooklyn was 3-1. He's been 3-5, 1-5, 4-5, and 2-5. And he's 1-9 on the line on Sunday. Like just maybe just a little bit tougher. Like he's raced in 1 grade or 2 graded stakes in that. And I guess he raced in the Brooklyn twice. But it's like gelding, I guess, is like who cares? You don't need the breeding. I really like it makes no sense whatsoever to not at least try against this group.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more money. I don't see why not. I mean, if they're just looking to easy money, easy races, maybe stay injury free just because they're that easy, cash as many as they can, stay on a consistent routine. I see that. I feel like in some of these bigger races, you kind of prep a little bit more, maybe take a little bit more time off in between. But when you have a horse that good with that much potential, you need to take those shots. You need to climb the ladder, I think, because if you don't push it, then you're just wasting time.
Is this going to be the first horse in a while that they're literally going to go in the Del Mar weekend, probably trying to decide whether they want to be one of the top 3, 4, 5 choices in the Breeders' Cup Classic or the favorite in the marathon that runs on Friday?
I mean, isn't that sentence you just said wild? It's true, by the way. But yeah, it's just like what? Why? Like. Now, I will say the Jockey Club Gold Cup is the Sunday before Labor Day. It is a 1.25 miles at Saratoga. Maybe they try that. I don't know, but it's wild.
Well, in like the Whitney's $1 million race. So if you win, you get 600,000, right? Uh-huh. Isn't that how that works? And if you get 5th, you get what? 5th gets 30,000. The Birdstone's 150,000. So if you win that, you get 90.
Yeah, 90.
Like, so go get 3rd and get more money. Like, what are we like? Even the economics of it. Like, if you're like, oh, I just want the easy check, but 3rd place seems like an easy check to get more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, as much as we kind of look at that race and go, well, this horse could win or this horse could win. If he was present, I think all of us would be like, well, yeah, he's better than almost all of these, if not all. I mean, National Treasure, look, it's going to be tough. What a race if next to National Treasure ran. But anyway, you'd look at it and go, well, he's no worse than 2-1 in the Whitney or 5-2, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Because, I mean, Krupe will probably be, I don't know what he'll be. I'm bad at predicting odds, but Krupe will be. I don't know what 8-1 tomorrow,
and he'll be single. He's Irad and Pletcher in New York. He's going to be digits. So.
Right, and that horse just beat Krupe by 9 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, and like we'll get back to this race and not the horse that isn't in this race, but I think this is one of the better betting races you're going to have in quite some time, and I think the last couple of years the Whitney's been really fun, and I don't know. Well, White Barrio last year, so it produced the classic winner. So it's a good stepping stone. And I think National Treasure has kind of proven himself to be a really good 4-year-old. And amazing what would happen if you let all these Baffords go for more than 3 races. Like maybe they'd all turn into good horses. But let's go get $50,000 to sire at Hillendale.
Well, the thing is, they can't go more than 3 races.
Step 1, live. That's anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, we got 9 minutes. You guys want to talk about one more race before we go on to the next one?
Sure.
What would we do? How about the 10th race? What's that one? I haven't looked at all. Troy Stakes, 5 furlong turf, 5.5 turf sprint. Nick's bread and butter right here. So I'm going to have a very strong opinion on Cogburn not winning. That was my big take on this, was that I think Cogburn beat not great horses at Churchill, and I won money on him on that day, and it was my proudest moment outside of the Derby. I don't think he's as good as we think he is. I think he's been beating some decent fields, and at 4-5, there's no way I'm going to play him. But I think these are the type of races, especially at 5.5 on turf, these are where you really do want to take a shot against him. So go ahead, Davey. Tell me how dumb I am.
I looked at this race and I wasn't really sure. I like Cogburn. You know, I not the biggest fan of Asmussen on the turf, but Cogburn just ran great, phenomenally fast. But I like Mischief Magic to the inside, the Appleby horse. Gets the rail, I think, kind of has the opportunity to just tuck in, kind of have the perfect ride and make the run. But I'm worried about Cogburn being too fast. So I need to look more into this race before I decide, though.
Yeah. Curtis, do you have an opinion on this race at all?
I thought the 8 was a little interesting here. Groom's All Business coming in, got Dylan Davis riding the horse. The last 2 have been pretty good, listed stakes companies. So he's been running well, kind of coming from off the pace, which I think you're gonna need a horse like that. I don't think anybody's gonna go throw down with Cogburn and put him away. So if you're gonna try and go against him, you've got to use a horse like that. I thought he was a little interesting from an upside play here. So that's probably who I'll be using on my tickets tomorrow. And Dylan Davis has been hot this meet too, so kind of like the jockey angle there.
Yeah, I liked Somich's idea on that one because Duarte, the trainer, only trains for Coltneck, and he's been placing him very well. So he doesn't run a lot of runners, but he does do a good job of spotting him in the right spot. So that's one that I would definitely be trying to beat Cogburn with. Aaron, why am I so dumb?
Well, I mean, a ton of reasons.
Lots of other reasons.
I mean, he didn't beat good horses is a crazy comment. I think the last race, that race was a loaded race. The 3rd place horse, Star of Mystery, came back and just dominated against the boys in her next start. Coppola won a race in his next start. Filo Di Ariana came back and won a stakes in the next start there for that horse. So I don't know who you want him to beat in that division that wasn't in that race. I'll start with that. I think the biggest thing for me is like Mischief Magic. Well, he got stomped by Cogburn twice. Why is tomorrow going to be different? It's the same distance. It's the same track as last time. I think there's one way Cogburn loses, and that's he just absolutely bounces off of what I thought was one of the best performances I've ever seen live and in person. It was a North American record, but even before I knew that, I looked at my wife and I said, that's one of the best performances you'll ever see. I've never seen a horse run that fast. And then when they ask him to go again, he accelerates and just puts them away. These horses have no chance if he runs that race. Now, granted, he may not be able to do that again because it was a North American record. I'll repeat that. Maybe he can't do it again, but look, I think he's the most likely winner on that card by a wide margin. I mean, the 8 is a horse I played on Pimlico or on Preakness Day. I think that horse has got a big shot to get second. I really like the 8 over, say, the 1, because we've seen the 1 get smoked twice. Also, guys, I think you gotta remember this. If it's rainy tomorrow and the turf is soft, Cogburn's big coming out party actually came in the Troy last year over a soft turf course there at Saratoga, and it was really bad. He beat No Balls that day, actually, who didn't seem to like the surface. So I can't say enough positive things about him. I've been going to races for many, many years. I've really seen been very lucky to see some of the greats. And I'm not calling Cogburn one of the greats, but I'm calling his performance last time out one of the greatest I've ever seen live. I could not believe my eyes when the rein was so loose on this horse coming down the stretch, and he was running faster than he did early in the race. So, I mean, to me, if he loses, he's off the board because he just didn't show. Because if he shows, he will destroy this group. That's my thoughts.
I think that is more of what I think my idea is. And I think I was saying he didn't beat much at the Churchill, at the turf sprint in Churchill. I thought the one at Saratoga was much better. But I haven't looked all that close because Mischief Magic ran 3rd, and that's what I saw. And I was like, oh, Mischief Magic was in that one too. So maybe I got that one mixed up. Shotty, have you looked at the Troy Stakes yet? Tomorrow at Saratoga?
Try not to pull a magic. Yeah, I kind of am just going 6-8. I like Cogburn to win. As a single, I'll play a ticket where he's singled, but if I don't have him, I really like Groom's All Business. Kind of tailing, he won for Somich on what day was it? He was the inside post, and ever since then I've been using him on tickets, and he hasn't been really disappointing. So I think if anyone's gonna beat Cogburn, that would be the one that I would kind of zero in on. Mischief Magic getting an inside rail versus the outside rail outside post he had last time kind of interests me. Aaron kind of mentioned that he's been beat by Cogburn several times now, though. So.
What's crazy about Cogburn too, if you look at it, he was a really good horse last year. He's using completely different running tactics. He was coming from off the pace last year, and now they've switched it up to where he's using speed and going to the lead, and nobody can catch him. He's a world class turf sprinter.
I had a huge bet on him in the Jaipur last out, and I thought he was screwed because of what he said. He usually comes from a little bit off of it. And not only was he on the lead, they were flying, and I just was like, oh no. And he just kept going. So yeah, look, since they've moved this horse to the turf, he has one loss. It came in Kentucky Downs, and I draw a line through that. His other 5 on the turf, I'm sorry, they're just way better than this group. But look, the Groom's All Business. I get it that the 8 is kind of the new shooter to the group, but I don't think I don't know. I just don't think the class is going to be the same as Cogburn. They're going to the gate, though, Mark.
Yeah, and Cogburn was good on the dirt too, so that was the other thing. So I want to follow up Dan real quick. That Baffert is lots of words and numbers, so read for yourself. I'm a bad reader. Me trying to read out loud, even worse.
All right.
And Dennis is on the 3 with a 138 exacta box, and Dennis. Boxes are for shoes. Thank you very much. Though I'm going to box something in this race as well.
And they're off.
Yeah, and they're off, and they're still loading, and still loading.
What is it about anywhere I am in the country? I'm always wow. They are.
I think it's a TVG, by the way. That's actually fast because I'm on the wrong one.
Oh, gotcha.
8 is in the lead.
Yeah, 8 kind of carried the 9 wide up until that first turn.
Oh, these 2 Baffords are towards the back.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Typical Baffert running style, right? Coming from off the pace in the dirt. That's what I always think of when I think of Bob Baffert.
Yeah. 3 horses I bet are the last 3 right now, so we'll see how that plays
Oh.
They did go 22.01 for the opening quarter. So that's fairly fast.
8 is uncontested on the lead, so they're doing this all themselves with this pace here. not really seeing a lot of movement from the back of the pack. Maybe the 1 is
Yeah, one's getting
making
going.
a move.
The 3 kind of wants to, but it's in traffic.
Mhm.
Here goes the 2. I think the 2 or the 3 is going to follow the 2. 2's coming strong up the rail, but none of them to the 8 yet.
I think
Minute 12 for
8 might be getting a
maiden.
little tired, though. Well, I say that, and he just kind of.
8 is super tired. The 2 is super tired.
But
too.
they're all tired.
They're all tired. I don't think they're gonna catch the 8.
8.
Oh, 8, 2, 5, 7.
I want to know what that come home time was. It was a minute 25 for the 7/8, and the final was a 1:36. So the last eighth of a mile was 13 seconds, 12 seconds. Not bad, actually. Right? That's what you want. Eighth of a mile? No. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm good at math. Again, maybe I'll read math equations out loud. We'll see how that goes for me.
Yeah.
8, 2, 5, 7.
Yeah, final time was 138.21. Yeah, so they came home in 13 and change.
Not terrible, but not.
I mean, for that level, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a grade 1 or anything. So, I mean, a mile, that's actually probably not bad at all.
Yeah.
So the 8 was the lowest in the pick 3. So we probably have a number of live tickets to the pick 5, which will be interesting. I think the first favorite we had, and right, was he the favorite? Yeah, he was 8-5. There you go.
Magic, you're not Magic. I called you Magic. Oh, God. Dennis, you're bad at grammar, and I'm bad at faces. Apparently, we're all horrible at something. All right.
So we got
Did
race
we-
5. We want to talk about that for a minute before we go talk about fun races tomorrow with the starter allowance going a mile. It was what non-winners of started for less than 50 and non-winners of 2. So basically, they're going for their second win. Mile on the turf.
The morning line favorite is a maiden.
Even better.
You'll love to see it.
Any thoughts, Curtis?
You got Ken DeSormo here riding the 3 a little bit. I was a little interested in that horse. Speed had been playing pretty well on Del Mar when I was playing last weekend. If they send the 1 to the lead here with Rispoli, I think that horse is a little interesting. So I was in a daily double that did not come anywhere close to hitting last race. I was to the 1-3 here, so I would have been alive too. So,
What do you think, Aaron?
What race are we on? Sorry.
Race 5 at Del Mar.
Race number 5 at Del Mar. I like the 5.
Okay. Davey?
I had the 5 on top as well, and then 4 and I think 12 underneath. I was really 5-4 for my top 2.
That's good because there is no 12. So I'm going to say that you were looking at something else. But I heard you say the 5 before.
Oh, sorry,
which I went to because I knew you had looked. Yeah.
The 8 at 12-1. Sorry.
There you go. I like the 4. Again, going to cite that workout. Went 23 in the lane with reaching strides. Loves to train. B+. So I don't know what that means in terms of going a mile on the turf. But here we are saying the 4 is a good bet. You're welcome, everybody. At $13 is going a long way for me tonight. So we have, I don't know what else I got there. You guys want to talk about the next one at Saratoga or the previous one at Saratoga? Or we want any more about a starter allowance at Del Mar? Saratoga it is. Hold on a second. All right, that was the 10th, 11th, 10th. We'll go to the 9th. 9th is not a graded race. Let's go to the 7th. That was a graded. The Saratoga Derby was actually really interesting, right? That was the one that I think is probably the best race of the turf for 3-year-olds tomorrow at Saratoga. Really going out on a limb there. The 2 is scratching out of this one, I understand. So we're going to have a field of 7. There you go. We'll start with Aaron because he's actually looked at this. I don't know if anybody else has. And, it's always a good way of doing a hosting is going to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Aaron, go over to you. I
thought this was a tricky one. I don't think it's as easy as Diego Velasquez or Legend of Time. I think this White Palomino's been close in some of these races.
Mhm.
I think he's one you got to look at. Carson's Run is not a terrible horse either. So I had a lot of trouble with this one. It's it's probably gonna be one of two things. It's probably to me, it's gonna be Diego shows up and he just kind of outclasses him. If not, I think it's very questionable who wins this race. I am not a huge fan of Legend of Time. I don't think of him like I thought of the filly that ran today for Appleby, where I thought, okay, she's the real deal. I think Legend of Time's good, not great, is how I describe him, and that's how I would describe a lot of horses in here. So I guess begrudgingly, Diego is it just kind of feels like if he takes to the surface and everything, he's probably the best one, but I think it's very questionable.
My bigger concern was he just ran a couple weeks ago in Europe and now he's here. Mm-hmm. So it seems like a bit quick, but what do I know? Like I can't even add, let alone figure out how to run a race. So I leaned more towards deterministic, the 5. I thought that him getting back on the turf was going to be a little interesting. So I would throw the 5 out because Nick likes him. And we got we have enough people that we almost look like the Brady Bunch over on the side. So I like this. So Hedlow, we'll start with you since you just joined us. What do you like at the Saratoga Derby? Because I'm sure you've looked at it already. I already asked that question.
Yeah, I'm in on White Palomino. I'm ready for some wet mud tomorrow. So give me some White Palomino in it. Deterministic sounds good, but I'll go White Palomino.
All right, Curtis. Now I got to play Russian roulette. Go ahead, Curtis. What do you got?
So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I like deterministic here a little bit. I thought that first turf race was pretty good. Neat actually came back to win the day, right? So the horse that he barely lost to came back and ran well. So I'll take another chance with him here. Again, kind of like Aaron said, I don't think the field's great. Legend of Time's kind of had his chances with me here. Hasn't really came through. So I'm off of that horse. Also, he's one too that kind of watch him in the post break because he's kind of got lathered up and a little worked up before races. So might be a tell there tomorrow if he's not looking too great pre-race. Diego Velazquez, I'm pass on that. So we'll take a chance with deterministic. I'll probably have White Palomino on tickets as well too. Chad's not going to be 8-1 though. I think he's going to be like 3-4-1. So I'll take a chance, especially a horse that Flavian Pratt could be lone speed. So deterministic or White Palomino.
Yeah, so seeing a horse with.
Sorry, Shadi. I was going to say it's a turf race, so anybody can win because that's how turf races go. And just throw a dart and you may get one. Hey, that's Nick's strategy. What do you think, Shadi?
Well, I kind of think it's when are you going to see Pratt on a brown for 8-1? Like, oh, and I really like White Palomino. They I cannot single here for sure. And hey, deterministic was a horse that we claimed out of the fantasy league, and we'll throw him on turf. Let's see. Maybe he's actually better going longer on turf and not on dirt. As you know, he's good.
If it rains, is Izzy live? It won't be 30-1, I guess, but.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see if they're on or off the turf.
It looks like they're going to be on based on everything that I've been seeing. It sounds like they're going to try and keep at least those stake races on. They may take some of the other ones earlier off, but it's Saratoga. God only knows what the weather is. They don't know 20 minutes before it happens. So it's,
If I had a guess, I bet if the weather is kind of like what they think it's going to be, I bet the first and the fourth race are off. And then I think everything else will be on. That's my guess. But like Nick just said, and it's very true, you just never know up there. It could, like I've always told this story. One day I went up there and the forecast was 80 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. And it rained so hard during the races, they canceled. So you just never know. But I would think the 1 and 4 or race 1 and 4 are definitely in jeopardy. But I would be shocked if the stakes come off. But I've been shocked before. So
yeah, in the test we'll look at real quick because there's 6 horses, and I think the Ways and Means is going to be a heavy favorite. So the way that I'm going to play a pick 5, because everybody cares about how not to win money, is I'd throw Ways and Means off of a ticket that I play with Cogburn. I'd throw Cogburn off the ticket that I play with Ways and Mean. I think that's the way to do it, or single Ways and Mean and single Cogburn and play it for $300 and then maybe make 50 cents. So has anybody looked at this race in some way that they're like, oh man, I got a real strong opinion here other than Ways and Means?
I'll jump in and say I couldn't agree more with what you just said. I don't think you can play them both in a sequence unless you single them both. So I think logically that makes a lot of sense. Now, what you said about Cogburn didn't, but what you said just then.
Broken Truck, right?
You know, when the field came out, I said, okay, Ways and Means I think she's going to get it. And then when you really dive into this group, I know it's a small group, but this is a fucking tough race, I think. I mean, I don't think it's as easy as just, hey, Ways and Means. You look at the 5, what the 5's done sprinting and what the 5's done when she doesn't have to face Torpedo Anna. She's just as good as Ways and Means, in my opinion.
Yep, I completely agree. Anybody else have? I don't want to go up and down the list on a 6-horse field with 6 of us because then it'd be real entertaining for everybody to listen to. But any strong anti Ways and Means feelings there?
I like the horse that has already beaten Ways and Means. Horse that has already, kind of told us we already kind of knew doesn't want to go longer than sprinting or a mile. And I'm really biased, but I really like Bright Work. I think is shocker. Yeah. And man, was I pleased to know that Somich also likes Bright Work. I think I'll go with Bright Work here to beat Ways and Means. I think she can get out to the lead and hold it from her. So I'll probably play multiple tickets, one of them having Ways and Means singled though. So I totally agree with you were saying earlier that if you're gonna single in this race, you probably would single Ways and Means. She's the most likely to win the race, but I think Bright Work, she really, it does kind of worry me that she's been off on such a long layoff, but we'll see what she can do from that.
Yeah, I like Bright
I'm
Work.
1 and 6. That's about it. That's it for me. I'm not playing Ways and Means.
What was that, Curtis?
I said I like Bright Work as well. I'm kind of a sucker for horses that have had their form a little dirtied up, like you said, a sprinter trying to go long and then cutting back. Also, Bright Work's 2 best races, I think, for her career were here at Saratoga as well. So perfect 2-0 sprinting at Saratoga. Also interesting stat, John Velazquez has ridden 1 John Ortiz horse at the Saratoga meet so far this year. And that produced they won, it was a $30 winner. So chance to get a shot here tomorrow, I think, as well too.
So what I'm hearing is that everybody is against Ways and Means, which means we should all just single it and move on. Because when we're all trying to be cute and beat the 7-5 shot, they typically win by open lengths at Saratoga. Or, as you know, the Graveyard of Champions goes, she gets beat. So there you go. That was clever until it rambled on to nothingness. So good job by me as usual. The Lure Stakes was the one that I found to be the hardest race of the group, probably. And it's not race 10. Isn't it race 9? It is. Again, I'm not a huge turf fan. And when you get a bunch of these that haven't won a graded stakes, it always feels a little more tricky and more competitive, which is good for betting and not great for handicapping. What was it? It was More Than Looks is the 2-1 favorite, which feels probably about right. She seems to be the best, and she gets all that IRAD money. Dave, have you looked at the Lure Stakes at all?
This is the race I have not looked at yet.
I knew it. That's why I went to you first.
This one, this one I've only briefly looked at. There's so many options here. More Than Looks, I think, is probably a deserving favorite, but to the outside kind of worries me. So I just got to dive a little bit deeper and see what I like.
Yeah.
I thought we had to swallow this one. Isn't this the horse that we're swallowing?
Yep, magic is.
I know I am. I'll take 9. I'll take 9 all day, baby. Let's go. Guzzle, guzzle.
Well, it truly is Dudes After Dark now.
Hey, honestly, inner turf, it's outside closers. There's not a lot of, it's over 40%. So there you go. Pretty easy.
All right, then.
Swallow it up.
Yes, I'm going to swallow it.
Surge.
Thank you for joining us, Bedlow.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to leave, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be down about 5 minutes." And I said, "Oh, hold on, Pedlo showed up. I gotta see what he has to say before I leave." So.
Swallow all 9.
Listen, and you haven't disappointed. You're gonna swallow up the 9, and I'm with you. We're both swallowing on Saturday, and hopefully he surges. Right? That's what we want.
All the way home. And you know what? I hate it, but you know when it's easy like that, you just take it.
You killed Aaron. Good job.
That's what my wife's always said. Yep, that's what she's always told me. So
I was going to say my wife has never said such a thing.
no.
So maybe we need, you know.
Some of us are lucky and some of us aren't.
So here I am. As all my family has walked in and out of here looking at me with an evil eye, and they're all literally sitting outside at Santa Cruz as it's getting like 60 degrees. And like, we can't go inside because Nick's on a podcast, and then we're over here talking about swallowing. So maybe they should all come in and I should get off the podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's 60 degrees. Who cares? It's perfect.
Oh,
We live in California. I'm gonna have to
that's
get
cold.
a flannel on and throw some pants on. It's really quite something. I'm really
They
quite
had
a baby.
yeah.
I do live in Sacramento where it's 115, so it is
wow.
actually cold.
Oh, 115 degrees.
Yeah, no humidity though. It's a dry heat. It's fine.
sure.
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, Aaron, go eat dinner.
Oh, I've swallowed that dinner a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
How long do we have till Delmar runs? What are we looking at?
13 minutes to post.
Nice.
I am gonna
Which
go
is-
though. So
Speaking
Okay.
of that, are we
Thank you
swallowing
for
the
rescuing them.
Friday,
Aaron.
you guys, it was great to be on. I may come back. This was too much fun, so I may come back.
There's a 0%
Excellent.
chance he comes back, but I like the promise of pretending that he may.
No,
Yeah.
listen, I love each and every one of you on here, but this is your show. I don't need to be on here, so I'm gonna get off here. So see you guys. Have a good night. Have fun.
Ta-ta. Bye.
Aaron has about as much a chance as coming back here as my dad did after he went out for that pack of cigs.
He didn't even get to hear that because
Oh my gosh. Good gosh. Stop going to the hood, I guess.
I'm also
So
I'm
this is
sitting
what
here.
happens when we do live shows talking about starter allowance races where nobody actually cares or has an opinion, and we have 30 minutes to fill. We try to talk about like 2 races in between, and it's like, all right, and we have no opinion on those ones. Now we got 13 minutes. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. We'll figure something out, right?
Hey, Twin Spires and Naira aren't fighting anymore.
That's a thing.
That's a thing to talk about.
Well, and I actually was supposed to bring it up, and Aaron's gone, so I don't even get credit
Doubles.
for
Where are
it. But
doubles?
yeah, you can get doubles if you join Twin Spires. I think it's promo code DUDES. Shoddy, help out as you walk away and mute yourself. Promo code DUDES. Sign up for Twin Spires because I'm sure nobody on this stream has a Twin Spires account. But if you don't, sign up for Twin Spires. Promo code DUDES. Get some bonus and something cool. And if you do the bonus, they have a bonus if you hit 2 doubles today, which I'm sure there's 2 doubles left, right? We're not too late for this. If you hit 2 doubles, you get a 25% bonus. So that's actually a good thing. I think it's only pays an extra $25, but hey, free money. What are you going to do? It's the first time in horse racing history you get free money for hitting bets. It's a tough game.
It's also the right time to, if you do like 2 chalk in a row, just throw $2 on 2 chalk in a row. Screw the pay, what the actual will pay is, and just use it as your shot to make more on the next one.
Yep.
The only problem with that daily double promo is you got to actually hit them. So, you've had some Saturdays where I'm just sitting here firing away on long shots. Take the chalk. So
This is
that
true.
2 numbers, that 2 number looks really good on paper. And then midway through the day on Saturday, it'll see it for mountain. So yeah, got to be a little careful there. You got to budget that thing out.
That 25% goes away real quick.
No, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't say it, but I was trying to go through the terms and conditions and I've thought about just trying to find 2 race sequences that I don't like that are maybe short fields back to back and just doing an all off for like $2 or whatever the minimum wager is. So I get the promo activated and hoping you get a little money back and then you get your extra. But I don't know. That might be frowned upon.
You have to have fields of 5, and at Del Mar they always have more than fields of 5 because we can't fill up Santa Anita. They canceled days, but Del Mar we can run 9 on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, so that's why they're not doing it at Saratoga then, right? Because you got to have fields of 5.
Or staying on the same surface you're supposed to be on because they always get rained off at least once a week it's been. So.
Today was pretty good.
So I'm add Davey back in here. Question:
Sure.
Are we? Oh, now Nick pulled himself off. Okay. For the rest of the stream, were we just going to be covering up until race 5? What was the plan?
I'm leaving at race 5. You guys are
Okay.
more than welcome to do whatever you'd like, and I think you're the host, so
I need to leave at race 5, so this will be the last race for
Okay.
Dudes After Dark, unfortunately.
Do
Normally we're a little bit later on Del Mar, but
and normally we start
I'm out
on
of town,
time, and
so.
and normally I don't end a stream and have to get a new one started and all of that. So it's been a fun day.
Pull
Aaron
Aaron,
it's we had a good plan, and then Nick hit the in stream button, and that kind of ended all the fun for tonight, so.
All right, so hey, since we're going to be leaving here, I don't think we had any live multi races going. Did you guys get an official pick 3 in? I don't think so, right?
I got a pick 3 in, but I don't think I said it out loud, so I'm not gonna talk too loudly about it. But I think I'm alive to the 4, which would be no, that's a pick 5 is $24,000. I almost shit myself. $241. So
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still good, yeah.
Well, let's try to give the people a good wager here. So may that be an exacta, trifecta, superfecta, or a double. I mean, we won't be here to cover the second half of the double, though. What are you guys thinking in this race?
I'm on the 4. I'm alive in my pick 3 to the 4. I thought that the way it trained was good. Second off, I don't like betting first winners, so that's one of those angles I try to avoid betting. And it's coming back after running in this basic level at Santa Anita, and ran a decent 3rd. There was nobody here that I'm like, oh man, these are some killers. I mean, it's a starter allowance, non-winners of 2, and starter for less than 50. So it's like you can take some shots. And I thought the mile may be helpful for the 4. And I thought, you got a lot that I could make a case for literally all of them. And at that point, like, pick one that you kind of thought was the best. So I was on the 4.
Okay. Curtis, who do you have in first and second? Or are you playing an exacta here if you could, or what would you play rather?
So I've got a little daily double in here.
Oh, okay.
I got a little daily double. So I'm on the 1-3 here into the 12 in the next race. 12's 15-1 morning line, but one first time off the bench here. I actually didn't run too bad at Del Mar last year, sorry. And I never bet favorites in state bred races. It's kind of a hard rule that I have. So
you barely bet favorites in general, so I would be very surprised.
So I stick to my guns. You live by, die by, right? So.
Right. Well, hey, I like the 1, so I'm not hating this at all.
Yeah, and then but I will say tomorrow we'll get some. I've been a little busy the last few Saturdays. I should be back into the Discord a little more active tomorrow. So
okay.
We'll be giving out some tickets at Saratoga and stuff posted in there for everyone that'll be in the Discord.
Yeah, so for those of you in the live chat, if you aren't already in the Racing Dudes Discord, check the live chat here in just a minute, and I will send you an invite. We have a group tickets channel, or if you want to hop into a group ticket for way less than what it would cost for a normal ticket, we have some people that host those sometimes using the Twin Spires app. Are you going to be hosting any of those, or are you just going to be posting tickets for people to tail?
We can do one. Yeah, I'll dig into the sequence as long as it's not astronomical. I think we get some buy-in. So
yeah, we can get some people. If people are interested, we can do a group ticket. So I'm going to share an invite to the Discord there. Yeah, and it's always fun. Like we hit the Belmont pick 5 as a group, and it paid. I think it was $79 a share. It was awesome. We've hit a couple tickets here on Dudes After Dark. Unfortunately, they've chalked out. Or we've had a couple close calls, which are always fun to watch if you've only put in like $4 stake. So it's kind of a fun way to get into doing multi-races if you don't want to choke up, $60 to $100.
All right, we're gonna give in to Michael Austin. I've been told one thing while hosting this show by Magic is whenever Michael says something, you just ignore him. But Magic's not watching; he's on TV. So,
Now you've done it.
Curtis, what do you got?
Oh, for the Goodwood Festival tomorrow. I haven't got the chance to look over. I'm sorry, I haven't got the chance to look it over. See, what normally happens is I can't sleep in anymore, so I wake up at like 6:30 on Saturdays, and the only thing to do is fire on a little international horses to get the day started. So, if you're awake in the Discord, we might have an early risers club in there tomorrow. Well, I'll post some international horses in there that I like. So I've laid off the international horses a little bit since Ascot.
I've got a little bit of a pick 4 that they could throw at real quick if they want to. Let me write it. I'll just type it in. I'm going to single the 1 here though. Though you can add the 8 if you want to, but that'll be another $24. So.
All right, so you're doing a what? What are you doing here?
I'm doing a pick 4. I was going to make it a pick 3, but screw it.
Okay.
Why not?
Go for it. I will type it in the chat. Oh, are you doing it in the private chat?
No, I just did it into the main one.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Don't even have to write it down.
Trying to beat the 13 also. I like your 12, Curtis.
Let's go.
Let's go. You guys are all fading Shady Tiger, eh?
Well, she's
I want Canadian there. Sorry.
Smiling Tiger died today, which was
that was a really good.
Yeah, race 6 looked pretty chaotic.
Yeah. For race 6, I was like, either it's the 6 that wins or the field.
So I will say that again, going back to the morning workout thing from DRF, the 2 Mio Bambino had come in from Pleasanton and has been working really well at Del Mar. So I would, for 50 cents, throw the 2 on there just because it looks like one that can do something. It's a second race. Lifetime. It's a 3-year-old stake California Stakes race 6 is what we're talking about. Just won at Pleasanton last out on 4th of July. Now shipping down here. Kind of feels like one that at 30 to 1, I can be talked into it pretty easily, which I just talked myself into again.
Well, the will pays to the 2. I would, if you really like that 2 and you were going to play it to win, I mean, the daily double probables are rather high.
All to the 2 it is. Thank you.
Yeah, like $3,000 if the 6 hits. Not saying that'll happen.
In the next race. So before we got on here, Pedlo, I was telling Davey that I like this horse. He was like 6-7 to 1 in the third race, second or third race. It was the maiden claiming race. I was like, hey, he's coming out of the 1,000-yard quarter races from Los Al. Usually those horses have a little speed, lone speed. Telling him I like it. I let my dogs out. I'm not able to get the single in time. I get shut out as I'm placing it. The horse wins. It's 6-7 to 1. But the 7 anyways coming out of the 1,000-yard has been winning the 1,000-yard quarter races at Los Al. Huge price. I'm going to put the 7 on a little bit of a daily double here. Give that out so everybody can go play it and kill my prices.
The Los Al 1,000-yard to a turf sprint and up to about a mile. Even the mile on the turf at San Diego has been one of those angles that just you get huge prices on. And yeah, you're going to miss plenty of times, but you're getting 30 to 1. You only have to hit once in a while. Those ones I really, really like. Not to mention Los Al is the greatest track in the history of racetracks. So you should all be playing it Saturday nights anyways, because it's the best.
All right, well, they are approaching the gate here for race number 5 at Del Mar. Looks like we're kind of all spread out with our opinions on this race. So
yes,
I think one of the only horses that we didn't mention
wins.
was the number 2 Catonia. So
did not have.
Now they're going to win, right? Talk them to the winner's circle.
I did do the all to the 2 for a $4 double. So hopefully we can hit, I'll hit this leg and then I'll go off the air and we'll see if I win in our own homes by ourselves.
No one watching. No one to care.
Just pretend that I'm rich.
Yes, they are loading into the gate. So I guess final time. Who'd you have on top?
I had the 1 on top.
1, Anganash.
Yep.
I have the
Curtis?
4 strikingly.
4 striking. And Pedlo.
The 1.
The 1. All
And
right.
they're all-
I had 5 on top, but I do love the 4. So the 5-4, I probably would have boxed or not boxed.
3, Marina's Tina is going to take the lead as they go into the first turn.
You're cutting off
Current
Davey, who they're still
trailer.
showing him loading in the gate for Davey, and you're
Oh,
calling the
no,
race.
I'm
He
so
was
sorry.
talking.
And now they're off.
Oh my gosh.
I know the delay is crazy.
Currently in the lead, it looks like it's going to be. They're kind of all bunched up together now.
That is the 3 Marina's Tina, I think.
Oh yeah, Marina, and then Princess Midnight, and the 4 Strikingly currently up front.
Nice. I had 4, 5,
about-
8 in my pick 5 or pick 4 that went out on the first race.
Yeah, they're kind of galloping along, 45-39 at the half. Let's see what the 3% mile is here. Oh, the 4 Strikingly is lost a lot of ground and is now last. I don't know if they've ran into someone or if they're pulling up or what's going on there.
Looks like he was just going too fast, and now is going very
Yeah.
slow.
Yikes.
Looks like the 5 is gonna pull by here. Oh no, is that the 2? Oh my god, do we talk that horse into the winner's circle?
We absolutely talked that horse in the winning circle,
He's gonna win easily.
like without a chance, like not even close. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm alive in my double. All right.
All right.
And the 2-2 double was paying $13.22 for $2, so I'd be at $26.44 for my double. So because there's no chance the 2 wins the next
Guys,
race.
we can't-
because now
we-
I really talked it up, but here I am.
I'm never saying that ever again, talking into the winner's circle, because every single time we do
Literally every time you say it,
Every
we talk them
time.
into the winner circle. Every time I've been on with you, we've talked them into the winner circle. 'Cause
Yeah,
we don't
so it
talk
looks
about
like
one horse out of 7.
it came in
right?
276. There's a photo for it, but it looks like it's going to be the 1 that gets 4th.
And I
Oh.
completely forgot to look at the pick 5 payout, so we're gonna look at that too real quick.
Wow, that
That'd
super
be-
is going to pay a lot. Because the 5 is out of the super. So
What did it end up coming in at? I'm sorry.
2761.
Huh.
Wow.
So the
1
pick-
convincingly.
The pick 5 paid $39,000 to the 2. There were none that got us a carryover, which is somewhat disappointing.
It's also somewhat incredible.
Yeah.
Because that was a 13-1. What were all the odds coming in here? Normandy Queen was the only chalk, 8-5.
It was the longest shot on the board, just 1.
And so the 276 trifecta for $1 was paying $10.99. So you can figure you can play it for 50 cents, but they put the minimums at $1 on Express Bet. So that's going to be a nice trifecta, and I'm sure the super is going to be even more fun, you would imagine.
Wow. What a day.
What a day.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Maybe next week we can be back and actually do this correctly, where we start on time and don't end midway through and don't harass Aaron. Because my one thing I was told when I did this 2 years ago was, as long as you don't harass Aaron, nobody cares what you do. And now we have Aaron on for an hour, so I'm sure I'm going to
Unfortunately,
get.
it was an emergency. It was an emergency because you couldn't get it, and then I was in an Uber, so he
Well,
had
I
to
will
do
tell you
something.
that Magic told me he doesn't care what the reason is. Don't harass
Mhm.
Aaron. That was my one rule. Don't talk to Aaron. So,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
All right, I'll play
right,
the little
guys.
outro video here. See you guys. See you next week.
See you.